What's going on, you guys? Welcome to It's Real to Us, the wrestling podcast. I am Anthony the Mark. He is Tony the Father.
What's going on, everybody? It's Summerslam time, favorite time of year.
And returning is Tiny Mike.
Summerslam, biggest party of the summer.
And as my co-hosts have already referred to, we are here to give you our SummerSlam predictions. So, gentlemen, we've gotten the civilities out of the way. Let's jump right on into it. We're going to start with Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk with Seth freaking Rollins as the special guest referee. This is a feud that has gone over many, many months without a one-on-one contest. That, of course, being contributed to the fact that CM Punk had a torn tricep. Now, let's just a little recapping, and I'll dish it to one of my co-hosts. CM Punk cost Drew McIntyre the world title not once, not twice, but 3 times. At WrestleMania, Clash at the Castle, and Money in the Bank. So there's a lot of bad blood between these two guys. So with that being said, Tony, we'll start with you. What do we think is going to happen between Drew McIntyre, CM Punk, with Seth Rollins as the special guest referee?
Just the fact that CM Punk is finally medically cleared should be, we should have a holiday for that day. Because I never seen a guy that almost a year, he's wrestled once in Royal Rumble, and he's done nothing but been medically challenged. I can't wrestle, I'm still hurt. So just the fact that you finally can wrestle, CM Punk, thank you. I hope you don't get hurt. Now, get into the match now. Well, they kind of been at war for the last 4 months already. It's not like this is just, CM Punk's fighting Drew McIntyre. Oh, I can't wait to see this. I've been watching it for 4 months. In a roundabout way, you know what? It's time for Drew McIntyre to put this guy to bed. This guy has cost him 3 different titles. 3 different times he's defeated him. He's interfered. He's gotten his way, and he's taken the title away from Drew. And you know what? I hope that Drew McIntyre finally silences this guy, because CM Punk is a punk.
So just to clarify, you have Drew McIntyre over CM Punk?
Yes, I got Drew McIntyre beating CM Punk this Saturday at SummerSlam.
Okay, now let's hear from Tiny Mike.
I hate you, Father. I do think gun to head, small little ledge. I'm going to go CM Punk here. Biggest reason is his first match back in a long time.
I'll give you my quick thought. This is Drew McIntyre's win. Seth Rollins got screwed by CM Punk at Money in the Bank, so we're going to have turnaround being fair play. CM Punk is going to lose this match because of Seth Rollins, the special guest referee. Drew McIntyre is going to get his win. CM Punk is going to be furious at Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre going forward. So we got 2 people for Drew McIntyre, 1 person for CM Punk. So let's jump back over to Tiny Mike on your rationale, if you will. Why do you really think Punk is winning?
Well, let's see. You guys could persuade me. I think it's going to be a close one. It could go either way. When I was doing my own predictions, my write-up notes, my intel, this was the hardest match to predict. Big reason, threw it in there in the start. It's his first match back. It's wonky to kind of fall back on, all right, we're here, and now we lose. Drew's kind of, his shtick is just losing, getting screwed over. And I only see Punk losing through Seth shenanigans. And CM Punk's going to be the babyface coming out of this. So is Seth heel turn? I don't think that fits the mold right now with the WWE and their direction. They kind of, he's just there because he fits, but it just, I don't know. It feels out of place right now.
CM Punk, 40-something years old, tears his tricep at the Royal Rumble, rehabbing all the way to come back. To lose would be a major rug pulling out from underneath you moment. So I hear what you're saying.
At the end of the day, Seth Rollins, he don't care for Drew McIntyre, and he don't care for CM Punk. But if you ask Seth Rollins who he cares for less, no doubt it's CM Punk. So I think Drew's got a little bit of advantage with the referee in this match. If anything, it's not going to hurt him. It's going to help him. And you know what? Take a look at CM Punk. He has to fight Drew face-to-face now. Look, here. That's how they have to fight. CM Punk has done nothing but backstabbed, come from behind, hit Drew when he's not looking. He's not going to be able to do that now. So I don't think this is going to be a hard match for Drew McIntyre to win. Yes, CM Punk is one of the best of all time. But put your cards on the table. In the last 3 years, he's been hurt 3 times, and he's not wrestled much. So he's going to have to pull this out of his ass to beat Drew McIntyre.
I do think like the meat of this story has already been told. And that's one of the trickiest things with this match because we hit the peak. Like it already happened, and that's going to be the match.
I agree with Tiny Mike. The match is going to be the final outcome, but the peak has already happened with the last 4 months, how these two guys have been clobbering, beating each other.
So you're saying the peak of this story has already happened, right?
Yes.
I'm saying the match is the peak because it's like we've had build up after like okay, who could screw who more? Okay, I've taken this from you. Now I'm going to take the title away from you. Now I'm going to take the opportunity away from you. Now I'm going to get you suspended. So the match is the final, like, hey,
The final outcome.
it's the buildup. We've climbed the rungs of the ladder and we've gotten here.
Yeah.
I don't see them after this match being able to continue this story. So it's going to shift in some kind of way.
I totally disagree. The problem you both, I don't think, are factoring into the equation is Seth Rollins will interfere in this match. Does that mean he does 1, 2, stops at 3, looks and smiles? Does it mean that he does a stomp to Drew McIntyre or CM Punk? We don't know. But one thing is certain. Rollins will interfere in this match, meaning your take to before the one-on-one match where you were right here. It's not really one-on-one, okay? It's not a clean, just singles contest. There's going to be shenanigans. So I don't think that this is the ultimate. I don't think this is the blow-off match. I think you're getting more matches down the road. And you also had a point that I wanted to bring up, and I don't want to forget about. Drew McIntyre is the physically imposing superstar. When you look at him versus CM Punk, he should slaughter CM Punk. I can't see a world where Drew McIntyre loses.
I have been persuaded on a new pick. DQ. Nobody wins.
Oh, Rollins calls for the bell.
Rollins, listen, hear me out. We're going to book it like this. Bad Blood's coming up. And these three, they have it. Drew's going to shove Seth. And he's going to be like, damn it, guys. What are you doing, Drew? I'm the referee. CM Punk's going to do something. And Seth is just going to get more and more and more and more aggravated as this match goes on, and he's going to snap. He's going to take a chair to his back like he did to Roman. And then whose back? Both of their backs. He's going to say, F it. I don't care about you or you. It's about me.
The triple threat inside Hell in a Cell,
I
Bad
think those
Blood.
are, ooh.
Maybe that's the direction.
Ooh, that's a good. CM Punk said you can't book a Hell in a Cell unless there's story to it.
There's be 7 months of story to it.
It makes sense.
So that's what we think of CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre with Seth Rollins as a special guest referee. What do you think? Reach out to us. Let us know. We're curious on all of your SummerSlam predictions. You can find us on X, Instagram, and TikTok at It's Real to Us. And on YouTube, where we are watching this, we are at It's Real to Us 1. So with that being said, we are moving on next to the World Heavyweight Championship title fight between Gunther and Damian Priest. A feud with not a lot of build over the last couple of weeks has been a priority of Monday nights, and I know I'm excited. I need to hear from Tiny Mike, who's playing with the belt for some reason.
I'm the champion. Heck yeah. We're talking about the world title, right?
We'll go with that belt.
Heck yeah.
That's the WWE title.
It's the better one because Damian Priest, you're a mook. I'm done with this guy. You can't cut a promo. You get your legs caught up. You don't kick out. You got your 3-month run. It ain't happening. You trash.
He is street trash. He's street trash.
Street trash.
Gunther said that.
Not only is he street trash,
His whole family's street trash.
Street trash.
Old trash. And you know what? He ain't even the most important part of what's going on right now, and that's Lil Liv and Rhea and what they're doing, and Dominic, and then you got the tag belts on them. We do not need this belt on Damian Priest right now, and we got Gunther, a Triple H made man, putting the belt on a guy on a big 4 pay-per-view. Done.
In all fairness to Damian Priest, the last 2 weeks, he's done a good job with his promos. He stood up for himself against Gunther. He was called street trash. His family is street trash. They're homeless. They can't feed themselves. They're on all the fucking programs that this country gives out for nothing. I think that at the end of the day, to make this simple, Damian's going to do a lot better than we think he's going to do. But at the end, Gunther is going to get the 1, 2, 3. And that title is going to go back where it belongs, a dominating Gunther for the new WWE Heavyweight Champion.
I hear both of you, okay? I think the obvious pick is Gunther. Let me just kind of outline why Damian Priest could win. Bash at Berlin, August 31st. How much more impactful would it be for Gunther to win the title there as opposed to in Cleveland? Think about the reception he would get. Say Gunther is cheated out of a win. Say it's not decisive, a count-out, disqualification. We could prolong this is what I'm saying. Triple H is all about long-term storytelling. We're this close to Bash at Berlin. In my opinion, it just makes a little bit more sense to put the title on Gunther then and there.
You wouldn't want to see Gunther versus Dragunov?
No, I would. That would be sick.
Yeah, at Bash at Berlin?
Yeah, that would be incredible.
As Gunther's the champ?
I'm trying to give Damian a reason why we put the title on him. I think Gunther's going to win. I didn't put my prediction out there. I'm going to say Gunther wins. But let's just try to talk up Damian a little bit. I feel like they've done a good job of making him the babyface over the last couple weeks.
Have you not?
You don't think so?
No, Damian sucks.
Don't you think that Damian has dragged this out as long as possible? I thought he was going to lose several different times, and he still won. So I think he's had his run. His life expectancy is over. It comes to an end at SummerSlam.
If Damian wasn't in the Judgment Day right now, he'd be horrendous. He'd be a Jinder Mahal-esque title reign. I also just think this Triple H booking, it's not lazy. It's protective of long-term storytelling. And him and Bayley are both being like, okay, your turn with the titles, go with it. One of them has to drop it, I think, because you can't have both King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring people lose. Another thing about Gunther, let's remember that he's not German. He's not from Berlin, so it's not like a big home crowd win. He's from Austria.
It's close.
I mean, yeah. That's why I think putting the title on him beforehand works better, because then you're going into Berlin where it's like, oh, let me get all my Germans and my fellow Europeans going, ja, ja. By the way, that means yes.
I have been very critical of Damian Priest over his world title run, and I want him to succeed. I think I've been so critical and I've been so disappointed because I like Damian Priest. And yes, unfortunately, it may be time for Priest to just drop the title and move on. So with that being said, we are in agreements. It is Gunther's time to be the World Heavyweight Champion, so we'll leave that there.
Just also furthering it, it's the Triple H play is, okay, let's put the title on a guy that we're going to want at WrestleMania. If Gunther's winning this belt, he's going to hold it for Mania, and that's how they build up that story, and that's where he could foreseeably drop it. Triple H has been very careful on when taking belts off people, and he likes them on the big shows, the stadium shows, to make that first crowning moment mean something.
I am not a fan of every single story being a long, drawn-out story. I like your short, feuds. I like your short, quick title changes. I think that's part of what makes wrestling fun is the unpredictability of it. And this Triple H era, as of lately, has felt very predictable.
We had 7 title changes at WrestleMania this year.
But that goes back to what I was saying.
So where's your predictability?
You know how many of those titles have changed hands since then? All just tag teams. Only tag team titles.
Yeah,
Have
so
changed.
Triple
but that's
H.
what I'm saying. But it's only been since WrestleMania. What are we looking at?
3
months?
3-4 months.
Yeah, but it's not
a
like a
long time.
year.
Think about it like this. We have a pay-per-view every single month. We can just outline and be like, okay, this is a big show, and the next big show is in 3 months. We give Damian Priest, we give Bayley, we give Sami Zayn these titles for 3 months, and then once we hit a new show, all right, let's pull it off them if there's somebody else we want.
It's almost like a temporary position, and they see, okay, if they're doing good for the 3 months, we'll promote them to full-time, and they'll continue to be champion. If not, we'll take the title right off them and give it to someone else.
Yeah, that's a great take.
It's very possible we're going to have 3 title changes, at least 2 this week.
I think you're going to see a lot of title changes because it's SummerSlam and Triple H is like, yeah, let's get a title change on the big show. My heart pacer's jumping.
So that is Gunther versus Damian Priest. What do you think? Let us know. We're moving on now to the Intercontinental Championship match. We got Braun Breaker versus Sami Zayn, a rematch from Money in the Bank. Tony, what do you think?
All right, we got Sami Zayn, who I got to give kudos to. After he beat Gunther, which I never thought was going to happen, but he did, the guy's been solid. He's been wrestling every week after week. Now he's got a nice feud going with Braun Breaker. And you know what? He's done a fantastic job as the Intercontinental Champion. Thought maybe we're going to lean towards a triple threat with Breakers, Dragunov, and Zayn going forward, maybe at the next pay event. But I got a feeling Braun Breaker will beat Sami Zayn this weekend at SummerSlam.
Yeah, this guy doesn't get to see the title. Okay, so we're talking Braun Breaker, Sami Zayn, Intercontinental Championship, SummerSlam. Match just happened at Money in the Bank. Thought it was mid. Sami Zayn won clean. Triple H booking. We're putting the belt on Braun. Yeah, I hate this guy. I hate it. I hate him. I hate him. I think he runs fast. I think he is a good wrestler physically. He has the athleticism. However, his mental and ring game is so off, and I'm just waiting for him, like the others to see. He's going to fall through the cracks once given the time. I don't see this guy being able to hold a belt for a long time, keeping people's attention, because at some point, we're going to get bored of a guy running.
What is wrong with his mental in-ring
Yeah.
game?
It's lousy. It's just, I'm strong, I'm fast.
That's his gimmick.
He's intimidating.
He's a Brock Lesnar beast type
Yeah.
of character.
I don't see it. He's 5'10", 5'11". He's Wardlow.
See, but that's the thing.
No, he's better than
He's
Wardlow.
Wardlow.
He'd way
Wardlow
better.
is
So much
borderline.
better
It's
than
the same
Wardlow.
thing. Big, strong guy.
Wardlow power bombs the outside security. That's all he's good for.
Yeah, and Braun Breaker's the 38th guy to do a spear.
Yeah, but you even said he's athletic. He's fast. He moves in the ring.
He
that's
does
what
the
I'm saying.
Frankensteiner from the top
Oh,
rope.
don't even get me on the Frankenstein.
It's an awesome
He
move.
goes up to the top rope, looks out to the crowd. He's like, yeah, look at me. And you got Ilya Dragunov, genius. Fantastic wrestler. We're going to get to him once we get to the discussion portion. Just sitting there under the ring being like, okay, do the freaking move. Do it. Okay, we're not going to do it. And then he does it. It reminds me of Alberto Del Rio's stomp off the top rope when the guy's holding himself up, being like, I'm waiting for you, Del Rio. Come on, do it to me.
So you think that Braun Breaker will lose to Sami Zayn
No,
again?
he's winning this match.
But you're not
It's-
happy about
Yeah,
it.
I'm livid. That's why I took that title off me, because I'm not speaking good words about Braun Breaker.
You're
I'm
not a Braun Breaker fan at all. But now, you said, though, that he's fast, he's athletic.
His ceiling, I don't see it as Lesnar because of just his size.
But you don't think that putting the Intercontinental title on him is a good idea? It's not the WWE title. Maybe he's not ready for the big show, but the Intercontinental title could be a nice fit for Braun Breaker.
So we'll let Anthony throw his pick out there. So far, it's 2 for Braun. Anthony, I assume 3.
So I have been Sami Zayn's biggest critic. Well, maybe not his biggest critic. I have just been calling for Sami Zayn to lose for the last handful of months. And unfortunately, it's going to continue because Braun Breaker's a beast. I know Michael's not in on him, but I love everything about Braun Breaker, okay? When he runs the rope, I think that's incredible. It's a simple thing that he puts his own unique twist and flavor on, okay? I think this guy has main event of WrestleMania worthy potential. I know you guys both disagree with that, but this is the first step in a very long career, I think, for Braun Breaker. Plus, Sami Zayn is going either after the tag titles with Jey Uso or possibly into War Games as an honorary Uso and member of the Bloodline. We'll talk about that later on, but I think Sami Zayn has done a great job, to your point, Tony, as the Intercontinental Champion. But now, let's give it to the young kid and see what he can do with it.
If you're going that route with Sammy joining the Bloodline, tell me this isn't better. Like, okay, sorry, Braun, to the curb with you. Sammy somehow keeps the belt, and then we get Fatu involved, and he takes the Intercontinental belt.
They're on different brands. And
They're on different brands, yeah. but
I like the separate nature of IC title on Raw, US title on SmackDown. And plus, Fatu is now a #1 contender for the SmackDown titles with Tama Tonga
I forgot
after
about
SmackDown
that.
last night. So, and that's a whole different story we can get down. I think Sammy and Jay get the tag titles on Raw. Fatu and Tama get the titles on SmackDown. They all meet inside War Games, but that's a whole different conversation for another day. So, Braun Breaker, Sami Zayn. We all have Breaker.
I just think he's so overrated, but he is the flavor of the month. He is the nice, young, athletic,
He's the orange
physically
Starburst.
appealing orange starburst. Yeah, it's a great way to put it, even though pink's better. But I wouldn't be shocked if we find a way to sneak Ilya into this match. My big thing with putting Ilya in this match is you get him a pay-per-view match, you get him that pay-per-view exposure, and you keep building him up because it's him and Gunther, not a money match well down the road. I'm not saying Mania this year, but why can't that be a pay-per-view leading match?
I think you do that at Bash at Berlin. That's the problem with your take, is I don't think that Ilya is supposed to be in the IC title picture going forward. I'd rather see him in the World Heavyweight title picture going forward.
You don't think that's rushing the match?
I don't think so.
He got knocked out. So they put that to bed. I want to see one-on-one. Sammy retains the title, or we have a new champ. That's what I want to see.
I just don't like getting the same match we got the last pay-per-view. And for all the reason of, okay, it was a B pay-per-view, now it's an A pay-per-view, now put the belt on him.
I get that, but this is the cascade effect of long-term storytelling, is you kind of get these duplicate matches. Like, we've seen Ilya Dragunov versus Braun Breaker 3 times since they've been called up.
What's the long-term story with Sammy and Braun? What are they fighting over other than the belt? It's not a long-term story, I think. I think it's
not. It's not. It's drawn out. Like, you
It's
could
drawn out.
You could have
That's the word.
you could have accomplished what we think they're going to do this pay-per-view, last pay-per-view. You could have had
Exactly.
Braun win at Money in the Bank.
And that's why I'm really up in arms over this match, because it's dragging it out just for we get that crowning
Long-term storytelling.
moment. That's not long-term storytelling. It's dragging it out.
What tomato?
No, long-term storytelling is CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, where it's like, okay, there's layers. Okay, you cost me here. All right, I'm going to one-up you here. It's the prestige. They're just constantly one-upping each other. I know you hate that reference.
All right, so that's what we think about Braun Breaker, Sami Zayn. We're going to move on now. We're going to talk about the WWE Women's Championship match between Bayley and Queen Nia. What you need to know going into this match is that there has been a union between the Queen of the Ring and Miss Money in the Bank, and their relationship and dynamic is going to be at the center point of this match. Does Tiffany Stratton cash in her Money in the Bank? Does Bayley go over? Does she retain her title and avoid Miss Money in the Bank? Does Queen Nia get her coronation, so to speak, become champion with Miss Money in the Bank at her side? A lot of different layers for a story that might not necessarily be the most exciting on paper, Tiny Mike.
I think Bayley, she's been a stinker of a given year. We've won the Royal Rumble. We won the world title at Mania. We've had 3 months with it. And I think she's going to retain again. I know it's a hot take here, maybe. I do think so. I'll send it over to you, Tony, because I'll save my thoughts for the discussion portion. But give me Bayley in this match.
I think Bayley, like Tiny Mike just said, she's been a disappointment. Her whole title run now has just been fluff and drift and drabs. I don't know. I just don't like it. I think in this match, you're going to have something interesting happen. The Queen of the Ring is going to defeat Bayley and take the title off of Bayley. And I think she deserves it. Nia really does deserve it. And I think Tiffany is going to cash in and pin Nia, and she's going to walk away the women's champion.
I like the prediction, but I think that you're just slightly off, okay? I think Nia beats Bayley. I think going back to Mike's point, Bayley has been a little lackluster. We need to freshen up the women's division with Queen Nia at the helm. I think that's how you do that. But to have Tiffany cash in right away kind of robs us of the tease of when is the betray coming. You know, we're talking about long-term storytelling. You have an opportunity to have a money feud in the making. Plus, we just saw Stratton's briefcase get destroyed on SmackDown. She's been walking around with tape on it, and it looks horrible. Queen Nia promised Tiffany that she's going to get her a new briefcase, and we all know what that's going to look like. It's going to be bedazzled. It's going to be fluff. It's going to be pink. There's a strap. The friendship between Nia and Tiffany is too new to rush a cash-in. So give me Nia winning the match and leaving as the champion with Miss Money in the Bank, Tiffany Stratton, by her side.
If you put the title on Nia, which is probably going to happen, who's going to challenge Nia? Who's next in line? Tiffany is the one.
Michin.
Tiffany would be the best person to challenge Nia. So why wouldn't you make that feud just incredible and get Nia all riled up by taking the title right off of her at SummerSlam?
So that's one of the reasons why I swing Bayley. Other than it's being the Triple H way and pushing my guys. Triple H has his my guys. That's what he does. Who are the other faces on SmackDown? She just teamed up with freaking Michin.
That's what I'm
You
saying.
got Naomi. You got Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill.
There's nothing there.
There's really
Jade
nothing
Cargill's
there.
not ready for the big time.
Listen,
They're not
Tony,
gonna
give me
do
a
that.
second on the mic.
Okay, go ahead, Tiny Mike.
With Nia as champion, I don't think Tiffany's going to cash in on her. I think you're better off keeping them together. They're good together in this women's division. They are the SmackDown women's division other than Belair and Jade's starting to fumble.
But that's exactly why you put the title on them right now, Cody. You're saying that there aren't enough faces to challenge the heels. There aren't enough heels to challenge Bayley. She's been through pretty much the entire division already. And what are you going to do? Like a face dynamic? Bianca versus Bayley? We've seen that 100 times before. I just think that Bayley has run her course as champion. Like what else? Like say she beats Nia, okay? Then she's going to feud with Tiffany a little bit, and then they're going to keep just like dragging this story on. At some point or another, Nia or Tiffany is taking the title.
Just another point, like I don't see both King of the Ring people winning. It's Triple H. We're going to have one long Money in the Bank. We're going to have one short Money in the Bank. We're going to have one King of the Ring winner. We're going to have one King of the Ring loser. We're going to have one person win the Royal Rumble and win the title. We're going to have one person win the Royal Rumble and lose the title.
That's why Tiffany is going to take the title off of Nia right away.
So we got 3 takes. Just if you're keeping track at home, I'll give it right to you second. Bayley, Nia, Tiffany then cashes in and wins.
If you're Money in the Bank and you got the briefcase, what's your objective?
Become a champion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have the briefcase, and my best friend Nia, I'm going to pal around with as the champ. Why do I need the briefcase?
You get close, and you find the perfect
But
opportunity.
She's got close the last couple weeks, and a perfect opportunity would be a wounded Nia. You don't think Tiffany is going to be close to the match? You don't think she's going to be near the ring? I don't see Tiffany come running out after Nia wins. I see her right there taking advantage right away.
So the story you're trying to tell here is a real Cal Naughton and Ricky Bobby. Where Ricky Bobby, he's the man, he has the wife, he's got the championships, the house, the cars, the races and all. And the second it's taken from him, you come in and swoop it. You're going to Cal Naughton with Tiffany Stratton coming in and taking Nia.
Yes, at 1 o'clock, Ricky Bobby was running in his underwear. He got himself together. At 5 o'clock, he came home. And Cal Norton's face was on where Ricky Bobby's was. And the kids were calling him dad, and he had his hot wife, and he was out of the house. It is going to happen that fast. It's going to happen that fast with Tiffany turns. It makes perfect sense. Perfect sense.
You guys are both crazy, okay? Tiffany and Nia
I'm not
aren't
saying I
nearly
agree.
as close as Ricky Bobby and Cal Naughton. They were childhood friends, okay? Nia and Tiffany are forming a relationship out of convenience. They're the two heels on SmackDown working together. That was a relationship built on friendship and trust, and a significant more betrayal, in my opinion, than if Tiffany was to turn on Nia.
Can I say something? You just said the key word. They are both heels. And what does a heel do? A heel will turn any time, any minute, any second.
All right, so we'll see if Tiffany turns on Nia, or if Nia wins, or if Bayley wins clean. We have a whole bunch of opinions here.
I think you guys are both 4 for 4 on the heels winning, which is a good thing because we're trying to build up WrestleMania. That's usually the big goal of SummerSlam.
It's the ultimate step back for a big comeback for the baby faces. So heels go over at SummerSlam, and baby faces go over at WrestleMania.
Nia Jax, yay, winning it!
I'm so fat.
So next we're moving on. We're talking about Logan Paul versus one L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
This might be the crowning moment for L.A. Knight. But if it is going to be that, it's going to have to come against the third longest reigning United States champion of all time, Logan Paul. He's only had 2 title defenses. This will be his third. So I'll kick it over to Tony. What are we hoping to see, and what are we expecting?
Wow. You know what? I have no real opinion. Or I shouldn't say opinion, but I don't have a prediction on who's going to win.
Goddamn sheep.
I wouldn't be shocked if L.A. Knight won. I wouldn't be shocked if Logan Paul won. We were at MSG, and we saw L.A. Knight pin Logan Paul in a triple threat. So it's in Cleveland, Ohio. It's Logan Paul's hometown. I don't know what to do here. If this match wasn't in Cleveland, Ohio, I would favor L.A. Knight to win this match. L.A. Knight's been... If you go back a year and a half ago, he's one of the hottest guys in WWE. And he fizzed out. Kind of like the New York Yankees now. They're just fizzing out.
Let's go Mets. Nate.
So I think L.A. Knight got a nice bump. He's back in the limelight. The fans are liking him. The buildup is there. I think it's his time to win. But as much as I hate saying this, I'm going to put my victory with Logan Paul. And his hometown, L.A. Knight, once again, doesn't close the deal. Sorry, L.A. Knight. Next time.
So now you're 5 for 5 with heels.
Let's keep it simple. LA Knight or Logan?
Yeah.
So you're going, okay, I was going to say if you went Logan and I went LA, I'm going LA Knight as well. We could have had a fun, all right, let's discuss and convince this mook.
But we could still do that.
We
can
can,
still
'cause he's
convince-
going
Favorite
Logan.
word, Mook.
So,
Mook.
So let's see why you think LA Knight.
I love Mook.
Okay, so this is why I think it has to be LA Knight's time. I think it would be a massive moment and just the greatest moment of his career so far, LA Knight. You know that the crowd is behind him. Despite the fact that WWE has kind of started and stopped pushing him for the last handful of months, he still gets an amazing pop every single time he comes out.
Wait a minute. You're saying that the fans in Logan Paul's hometown in Cleveland, Ohio, are going to be behind L.A. Knight?
Yes,
I agree.
You think it's not going to
yes.
be a split?
I
No.
think the people of Cleveland will probably hate Logan the most.
Logan is going to have a homecoming on Friday, and that is where he is going to turn the crowd around on him, okay? He is going to show up. He's going to be self-righteous, arrogant. Hey, the best thing in Cleveland is finally back.
LA Knight is Mr. SummerSlam. Snap into a Slim Jim. Won the Battle Royal.
1-0, baby.
1-0, and you only got everyone a car at SummerSlam.
If LA Knight does not win, is it over? Is the LA Knight experiment over? Because a lot of people have said he's a flash in the pan. He's a mix between The Rock and Stone Cold. He'll never be able to be a champion. But despite all of the criticisms he's gotten, the fans haven't wavered on him. Triple H said at last year's Money in the Bank, when LA Knight was the presumed favorite, good things come to those who wait. And I know the theme of this entire episode has been long-term storytelling. Could this be the finishing moment?
I think this kind of goes back to what I've been preaching this whole match. It's a big 4 pay-per-view. It's crowning moment seasons. We don't need Logan Paul holding this belt right now, and I think what's best for the show is LA Knight Mid-Card Mania.
Yeah.
Where he's just putting on, LA Knight versus Escobar, U.S. title match. Screw it. I'm for that. And you could do that all over the place. And just one last thing. So I think LA Knight, he's going to be Mr. SummerSlam again. He's going to go 2-0. It fits to give him the belt now. Good things come to those who wait. He's waited longer than anybody. Logan could take a break right now. He did a great job at Mania. He did SummerSlam. He did the Royal Rumble. He's got other shit going on. And the U.S. title, he is great. He is fantastic. I wouldn't even mind him going for the world title and doing the same exact shtick.
I said this is going to be a close match. Could go either way. If it wasn't in Cleveland, I'd probably favor LA Knight. But it takes a big man, to admit when he's wrong.
Oh, we got
After
him.
listening to Tiny Mike and the Mark, you know what?
Sheep.
LA Knight. It is his time. I agree with everything they say. You know what? I made a mistake. I'm going to go with LA Knight. I'm reversing my pick. And LA Knight, it's his time. He's back in the spotlight. Put the title on him.
Yeah.
And going towards Tiny Mike's point, it would be fun to see Logan Paul take a step back for a minute, come back, and then immediately be featured in the world title situation. He's big enough. He's good enough. He belongs there. I think this United States Championship run did a good job of identifying the fact that Logan Paul is indeed the future of WWE if he wants to be. He's got Prime. He's got Impulsive. He's got a million other things going on. But if he wants to be the WWE Champion or World Heavyweight Champion one day, he absolutely can be. So I think we're all in agreement now. LA Knight maybe wins the title. Logan Paul, bigger and better things down the road for him. Now, with that being said, we are going to move on to I'm calling it our co-main event. That is Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World title. The best story across all of WWE, the alliance of Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Is he going to favor his mommy or his stepmommy? He told Liv he hates her. He can't stand her. So with that put to bed now,
We made her cry.
are we going to get Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan one-on-one clean, Michael?
I don't know. I don't know at this one. This is if you look at my notes here, I literally have two answers. I really only see Liv winning if all right, Judgment Day Civil War. The Irish lads help out Liv, and they're like, hey, we're just helping her out. And then they screw over Rhea. I don't know how we get there or how we do it. There's a lot of moving chess pieces. And the argument for Rhea is going to be, I only see her winning if there's no funny business. Gun to head, we're going to keep it on Liv so that this could keep playing out. But by the tone of my voice, there's no confidence.
I really think that Liv Morgan is going to retain this title. I don't know if she's going to pin Rhea. It's very possibly she does. Disqualification. Something's going to happen where the title is going to remain with Liv. And I know for a fact there's one guy that's going to be involved in this somehow, and he's going to make this happen. And his name is Finn Balor. Finn Balor doesn't forget. He knows that those titles around him and McDonough's waist are from Liv Morgan getting them the title match, and then Liv Morgan helping them win the titles. Finn also, in the back of his head, he don't like Damian Priest. He knows Damian's just this tough guy that wants to be the father. Finn wants to be the lead guy, too. So I think this is where we're going to see the faction. It's going to break apart. Finn, the McDonough are going to be aligned with Liv Morgan after Saturday night. So I give Liv Morgan to win the title and retain over Rhea Ripley.
Tony, I just got to say, that is perfect. That is an amazing take. I 100% agree, and I'd like to take it a step further.
Thank you.
So I will also say I have Liv Morgan. The three of us got Liv Morgan right now. If you look back, Finn Balor took the hotel key card and from Liv Morgan. Finn Balor has been talking all chummy with Liv Morgan. She's been hanging out with him in the dressing room.
They've been playing 2K.
They've been playing 2K.
Good game.
With McDonough and Carlito.
Finn Balor has been furious at Damian Priest. It makes so much sense
Perfect
that Dominic
sense.
Mysterio is the red herring in this. Everybody's like, Dom's going to turn on Rhea. Dom's going to turn on Rhea. And then
Back
when
with
Dom
Mommy.
doesn't turn on Rhea, Finn Balor emerges and breaks up the Judgment Day, and it makes perfect sense. Finn Balor, JD McDonough with Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio still in the Judgment Day. Carlito, I don't know. He's just lucky to be here at this point. He could just pick a side at that point. But I think Liv wins, And I think the Judgment Day officially break up because of Finn Balor.
And you know what? Rhea could afford to take a loss right now coming back, especially with everything that's going on.
I do have a note here where the only thing I care about in this outcome is that Carlito remains involved. That's all I need.
I love Carlito.
Okay, we could go left, right, center, up or down, just as long as Carlito isn't annexed away. Because where else do you go?
The Judgment Day have been the best part of Monday Night Raw, and Monday Night Raw, let's call it like it is, has been significantly better than SmackDown over the last month, and because of the Judgment Day.
Yeah, they're cool.
And because of this story. So all eyes are on this story. We think Liv retains. She's only been champion for 2 months, and she's done such a great job with it.
She's done a great job.
I do think they missed the chance to do the custody of Dom match.
I got another twist. I doubt this will happen, but Dominic and Liv have concocted this whole plan where he gets back in Rhea's good grace and this and that to make it look like he's back with mommy. And at the end of the day, he does something to hurt Rhea, and Liv pins her. And maybe we're going with Finn Balor, the obvious. Maybe it's a misdirection.
No, Dom is the obvious one.
No,
Finn's
not now. Not after the other day. There's no way Dom is the obvious one. What he did to her, Liv, he made her cry. How friggin' incredible will that be if he betrays and then he comes out, you've down-talked to me, mommy. You've treated me like garbage. She's treating me like a man. That would be incredible theater.
I think as long as we get a turn, we'll be happy. If it's Finn, if it's Dom, I think it's good. If we don't get a turn, say Rhea Ripley wins clean. I think we're all
horrible.
I think that's bad. I think all of us would be a little upset with that.
I like Rhea as champion.
I like Rhea as champion too, but she was dominant for like close to a year.
Liv hasn't fought anybody. She's been not that good. She's just been softcore porn.
She beat Rhea.
Find the name. Find the name.
Zelina Vega.
Who?
Zelina Vega.
Who?
She beat Zelina Vega.
Fucking one with
And
the flip
She
flop?
beat Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch is off like signing a new deal. We all knew she was going away.
Since Rhea's been out, Liv is absolutely stepped up to the plate and carried that ball.
Yeah, she's
Since
wore
Rhea's been
Daisy
out.
Dukes and showed
It
her
doesn't
ass.
matter. Can you guys honestly tell me that you could see Rhea winning the title, Liv laying on the mat, defeated, Rhea, Finn Balor, J.D. McDonough, Damian Priest, Dominic, and Carlito all looking down at Liv when she's by herself. No way will that happen. If that book happens, that is the worst book that I've ever seen WWE do. Liv cannot be alone in this. There's no way.
I honestly don't hate that book, actually. They all just, you know what? We're together. We don't like her. She tried tearing us apart.
Six on
it's
one.
It's a Judgment Day face turn? Yes. Carlito takes an apple and
Six
spits at her?
wrestlers versus a 5-foot little blonde girl. That's not Judgment Day's back. I don't like it.
I can't tell who's the face and who's the heel at the,
The
moment.
face is Rhea.
The face is she?
She just came back from injury.
Yes, but Dominic made Liv Morgan cry hysterically.
Yeah.
And they were laughing at her and pointing at her. That's not a face thing to do.
Liv
You know
Morgan
what?
was trying to break up a happy couple.
Listen.
She's the home wrecker.
I'm just saying that the roles aren't properly defined right now, and I would hope that SummerSlam we have a clear indication of who's the face and who's the heel after the fact.
The only way to keep this going forward is simple. Liv has to win. If she loses, it's over. So I think this is an easy pick.
Yes, the father.
If I had money to put on this, I'd unbuckle everything. I'd send it in. I'd go to the bank with a wheelbarrow. I'd dump my 50 cents in, and I would send this in, and Liv is going to win this.
The father, you're not talking on deaf ears. We agree with you. We are all like, we think that's gonna happen. I think you do too. Like it's gonna be Liv with some kind of wacky shenanigans. But we're just discussing the outcomes of what if they go the other route.
Okay, so we have Liv Morgan, but now we're going to move on to what is most likely going to be the main event, and that, of course, being Cody Rhodes defending the WWE Championship against the quote-unquote tribal chief, Solo Sikoa. Will Cody have backup? The Bloodline took out Randy Orton, and the Bloodline took out Kevin Owens. So Cody is a man on an island right now, all by himself, going up against the most dominant faction in all of WWE. So we'll start with the father on this one. Cody Rhodes, Solo Sikoa, what do you got?
Wow. The last month, the Bloodline, how dominating have they been? From Paul Heyman to Randy Orton to Kevin Owens to Cody Rhodes, week after week, these guys are just getting pummeled. So, you know what? If you asked me about this match a month or 2 months ago, yeah, Cody Rhodes, Solo Sikoa, whatever, this is going to be a walkover. This is going to be tough. I don't know what they're going to do with this. If Roman shows up I think Cody's going to win. If Roman doesn't show up, I think Solo's going to win. But I'm going to make a prediction right now. Cody Rhodes retains his title and beats Solo Sikoa in an incredible, tough match that could go either way.
Cody's winning this match. I don't like what they've done with him, but like in so many reports and everywhere, the idea is, all right, Cody's holding the belt till Mania. Like, it's set in stone. You don't beat a guy who held it for 4 years and drop it after 3 months. We're not doing a Sami Zayn here. With that, I think it's fun to discuss how Roman gets involved because, okay, Solo called him out to end SmackDown. Roman is going to get involved. If this match goes on last, he's getting involved. He's going to come back cheered, celebrated, and he's either going to come in and pump fake Solo and be like, yeah, we're going to get Cody, and then take him out, or does he just go straight for Solo? So I think that's the more fun part of the match to discuss because little Solo Sikoa ain't getting this belt.
I'm interested to see if Jimmy Uso gets involved, too, because obviously all the rumors are about Roman Reigns and whether or not he comes back. But Jimmy Uso was also another member of the Bloodline who was kicked out by Solo Sikoa to reimagine this Bloodline. And quick, they gave their predictions. Let me give mine. We're in agreement. I think Cody Rhodes is retaining the title. But with that being said, you guys make a convincing argument for putting the title on Sikoa if Roman doesn't come back. But we all think Roman's coming back. We all think Cody's going to win. It's just a matter of what happens. Or does Jimmy Uso come out first and then Roman comes out? Maybe Jimmy comes down and he fights off the Tongas or whatever, and Fatu takes him out. And then we get a stare down between Jacob Fatu and Roman Reigns. That would be electric.
Cody's got to retain. It doesn't make sense for him to drop the title. Cody wins the title. They pummel Cody after he wins the title. That's when you see Roman walk out with Paul Heyman and Jimmy Uso. They come to save Cody Rhodes.
I acknowledge Roman Reigns is my tribal chief.
Yeah,
I hope
the
he comes
Bloodline
back.
feud starts.
Yes, we get the build towards War Games. Roman Reigns, both Usos, Jimmy J, the honorary you, Sami Zayn, versus the new Bloodline. It would be great. Throw the tag team titles on both of them.
This and like the Drew match are the two that should have long-term storytelling involved, if that's the key word of the Triple H era. Everything else shouldn't be planned out for 4 months, I think. I think that's crazy.
Last thing I'll say about it, it would be a nice full circle moment. In 2020, Roman Reigns returned as the tribal chief for the first time. The big dog character was gone. He was a heel, changed the landscape of WWE and professional wrestling over the next 4 years. How amazing and poetic would it be if he returned now as a babyface, going up against Solo Sikoa and the rest of the Bloodline. So that is SummerSlam.
I think this SummerSlam is setting up nicely to plan out the future events going forward.
How cool it would be if we had Monday Night Raw, you knew there was going to be a Civil War with the Judgment Day, and then SmackDown, you got Civil War with Bloodline.
Nobody on this planet hates War Games matches more than me. If you go ahead and make it make sense, you do a Judgment Day War Games match and you do a Bloodline War Games match, awesome.
Can I make one more point?
You absolutely can.
On a Judgment Day Civil War, McDonough, Finn Balor, Liv Morgan, and Carlito. Now, on the other side, we have Damian Priest, Dom, Rhea. So it's 4-on-3. Let's see, who can we make that fourth person? R-Truth comes back into the Judgment Day. That would be cool as hell. Now, what are you doing, R-Truth, right now? Imagine he pairs up with them because he's mad at Liv Morgan, what she did. That would be great. Now you got your 4-on-4. And he gets his lifelong dream come true. He wants to be in the Judgment Day. And then you have 4-on-4. You got Carlito versus R-Truth as that fourth person. That would be great.
Okay, that is a conversation for another day. But SummerSlam 2024, you are caught up. You have our predictions. If you want to reach out to us, you can find us on X, Instagram, and TikTok at It's Real to Us. On YouTube, we are at It's Real to Us 1. Thank you so much for watching. I am Anthony the Mark. He is Tiny Mike.
I got tea time in 40 minutes. Over under 48 and a half. Playing 9.
He is Tony the Father.
I'm going to the Meadowlands to play the ponies because I need cash.
And we will see you next time on It's Real to Us, the Wrestling Podcast.
See ya.